Yeah, so we are online and we are ready to start. Then, hello everyone. I'm very glad to welcome all of you on our course, which is HR Manager. And today we have class number 1, where we are talking who is HR Manager, what roles are there, and what does an HR Manager do. So let's start and let's learn something new. This is a course website, so you may read some more information, and let me introduce myself so we know each other better. So my name is Mike Pritula, and my personal experience started at Alpha Bank, which is now Sense Bank. Then I worked at STB TV channel, then I worked for Wargaming, then it was Preply, Ideals. I also worked with PeopleForce, and now I have my own academy. As HR manager, I started at Alpha Bank. I was responsible for recruitment and training for credit specialists that gave loans to customers. And it was my very first job for myself. I started my career in HR, and I still in HR now. I like this profession. It's very interesting. It's very inspiring. And actually, I built pretty good career, right? So I started as HR manager at Alpha Bank, but then I built my career there. I grew up to HR business partner at STB TV channel. I was head of recruitment and onboarding department at Wargaming. I was HR business partner and then Total Rewards lead. At Preply and Ideals as well, I was head of HR. Yeah. So among my career, I had several nominations, several awards, several recognitions from different organizations, right? I was even published on the HR Management Journal magazine. This is it. Yeah, and I have lots of diplomas, lots of different awards, nominations, and I also have 3 international certifications. And our academy is pretty successful. It has long history. It taught 10,000 students all over the world from different countries, and it keeps growing, right? And it also has some awards. Now about the homework. On this course, we have your home assignments that you have to submit, and I will check them and will give you my feedback. And after all your home assignments are submitted and accepted, we may issue you your diploma. We issue our online diploma on very famous platform, which is a credible platform. It's so famous that even Google company, they use very same platform. This is a course program. It has 16 different classes. It covers all different topics that you need to know in HR. So after this course, you'll be pretty experienced HR manager. Our lesson program. Today we're talking about what is HR management, what is HR responsible for, what roles are there in HR, what are the responsibilities of the HR manager, career growth and salary growth, HR salary, basic understanding of business, and HR audit and strategy. So let's start and let's learn something new, as I like to say. So who is HR at all? It's called right hand of the CEO. It's like a glue for all employees. It's the person that in charge of people in the company. One who understands employee behavior. Internal consultant on HR issues for managers and employees. Advisor to managers and employees, and also one who increases the efficiency and value of the business. That is why, starting from today, we are going to learn some business basics. And also we have to realize that HR role is about supporting the business, right? Because there are some business activities, they take participation in creating value for clients, and then clients pay for the company. But also there are some supporting activities like HR that helps business to work, to serve its clients. Then what? What kind of goals of HR management in the company? First, it's to support the company in achieving its goals through the development and implementation of an HR strategy that is integrated into the business strategy. Then to participate in creating a culture of high performance. Be responsible for ensuring that the company has talented, experienced, and engaged employees. Create positive relationships between managers and employees, as well as an atmosphere of mutual trust, and then encourage the use of ethical approaches to people management. What kind of HR contribution HR brings to business? There are several of them, like demonstrate solutions to company problems, specifically about human problems, people problems. Participate in creating and implementing business strategy. Increase organizational effectiveness through more efficient resource use. Manage changes, provide HR services like recruitment, training, onboarding, etc. Ensure HR expertise, provide advice, develop the employee value proposition, promote employee well-being, promote social responsibility, and ensure compliance with laws. What kind of or what amount of HR are there in different companies? Market median is 14, and for bigger companies, of course, we will have more HRs like 20, and for smaller companies, it's going to be 3.5 in average. And if we are talking about the ratio of HR to total headcount, it's close to 80 overall. And again, for smaller companies, it's going to be 62. Even for some of IT companies, it's going to be, let's say, 35, maybe 40 employee per one HR. And yeah, for bigger companies, it's more. What kind of HR role depends on in companies? Because talking about HR managers, we will find so many different HR managers in different companies. Why it's so? It depends on job level in the company, because some companies they call this HR manager, while other companies they could call this head of HR, HR director, and VP of talent, maybe even the same amount of the same size of the company. Then your specialization. The more you know, the higher role you'll have in the company. Company needs, some companies they just don't need strategic HR role. Top management opinion on the role, context in which they operate, and HR opportunities and capabilities. So also we have to realize that HR plays 4 different roles in the business. It's according to Dave Ulrich, who said that HR should focus both on present and future, and then on processes and people. So HR acts like 4 different roles. The one is to be a strategic partner. The second one is to be a change agent. The third one is to be administrative expert, and the fourth one is to be employee advocate. And it needs different competencies, different experience, different skills. And that is why, again, in our course, we are focusing on so many different areas. And you have a lot to learn, right? What HR manager should do in the company? Understand the strategic goals of the company, understand how to achieve them, understand the company's business model, how the company makes money, and participate in business innovations. Know how to provide a competitive advantage for their company through HR, participate in developing the business strategy, help the business form vision and values, ensure executives understand how HR influences business strategy, see the big picture of what's happening, think long-term goals, understand different types of employee behavior to support the business strategy, pay attention to finding business problems and their impact on HR strategy, believe in and practice fact-based management, be able to justify an HR decision from a business perspective, and fully consider the ethical component in their work. Options for forming an HR department. So in different companies, we will find so many different structure of HR organization. In some companies, there would be without HR structure, like no HR at all. Then we may find HR generalists, 3-in-1, and other type of structures. So let's learn the difference. First, up to 30, 40 employees, companies could have not HR managers or just HR in the staff. And then someone will play this role, like the CEO. And very often in these companies, CEO assistant or office manager could start doing some HR work. And it's very often they come to us and they learn to be HR, right? And companies could promote them to be their very first HR manager. Then it's HR generalist. Actually, HR generalist is the single role in the company. It's all in one, right? The universal person. And this person is responsible for all HR functions. But then it usually happens up to 100 employees. But then when this HR generalist has some, maybe the very first HR in the team, maybe some of HR. So this HR generalist becomes head of HR, and then those other HR, they could be HR manager. If it's a big company, then some of HR functions, they become independent department, like staff record department, talent acquisition department, training and development department. So in this case, some of those functions could have their own head, and then our HR, in this case, will be HR director, right? Because director roles means you manage other managers. Then there are even bigger business where companies introduce another role, which is HR business partner, which is, I would say, like a copy of HR director for specific business department. And then we will have, again, head of HR functions, like head of CNB, head of L&D, and others, HR director and HR business partners. And also, this model is one of the most developed when we also have HR operations. Then those HR functions, they become center of expertise, right? And then we also have HR business partners. What everyone does in HR. So HR department, and this is those part that work with employee files. So we call this staff records or personnel department. They do employee paperwork, orders for hiring, transfer, termination, vacations, consultations on HR issues remaining vacations, acceptance of sick leave documents, maintaining personal files of employees, and preparing reports for government agencies. Then recruitment department also could be called talent acquisition department. They work on searching for employees, evaluating candidates, adapting newcomers in some reasons, in some situations, and building employer brand, again, in some occasions. Then training department. They do training planning, develop an employee development plan together with managers, organizing internal and external training, evaluating employees, and organizing online courses. Then compensation benefits department, which also could be called total rewards department. They do planning and budgeting salaries and actually payroll overall. Comparing company salaries with the market, building a pay scale system, which is grading, developing a reward system and the administration, developing social packages and the administration, developing one-time bonuses and rewards, and controlling the work of these programs, and personal cost analysis. Then HR business partners, as I said before, they are responsible for building relationships with business leaders, implementing HR practices in their business units. They act as a front office managers or single point of entry into HR for the business representatives, identifying business needs in HR activities, working with HR departments, submitting requests, monitoring their fulfillment, working with the business unit at the request of HR departments to gather information or implement solutions, consulting managers on HR matters, improving the efficiency of the company's work. Then company could have internal communications department, which is responsible for preparing information for employees and also delivering those information, creating communication channels, delivering information through various channels, assisting managers in communicating important information and supporting changes in the company, and gathering feedback from staff. Then some functions could be done by different people or different HR functions, like conducting surveys in the company, describing and integrating corporate culture, working with employee engagement and motivation, implementing various HR programs and HR analytics. Career growth of HR manager could look like this. So we start from being HR assistant. It's the person with no experience in HR at all. Then HR assistant could become HR specialist. I would say it's from 1 up to 3 years of experience. And then it's HR manager, right? More universal HR specialist that has some of HR experience in HR generalist, head of HR, HR director, and CHRO. And median monthly salaries in those countries with without high salaries, right? So it's I would say it's Eastern European countries, some Asian countries, Latin America countries. They could earn, talking about HR manager, $1,250 a month. But working in IT company or high-tech companies, they could earn more. And of course, if it's about European countries, you multiply this by 2. And if it's about North American countries, like the United States, Canada, and similar countries, you may multiply this by 5. Okay, so basic understanding of business. For HR managers, it's very important to understand how a company works, specifically to understand your company structure, which could be in the form of functional structure, when a company is organized around functional departments. So your company would have those like marketing, financial department, and other departments. Or company could be organized around divisions like product divisions, geographic divisions, or client-based divisions. So then your company will look like a group of companies or a holding company with smaller companies in it. And some of the department could serve as a service center for different divisions, right? So some of company could be like centralized part, and then in every division would be their own marketing department, finance department, manufacturing department, human resources, information technology, and so on. Or company could build matrix organization, which is a combination of functional structure and divisional structure, but people don't work in functions or in divisions, they work both in functions and divisions. It means they have two managers at the same time. And also metrics could be even more difficult, right? 3D metrics, 4D metrics, 5-dimension metrics. Then those people could work in more than two departments at the same time, and they could have more than two managers. Also, company could be structured as network organizations. This is just a less formal version of the matrix organization. When a company put more focus or more emphasis on temporary groups of people, importance of staff at lower levels, horizontal communication, and catalytic role of top management and strategy focused on attention concentration. Then, working as HR manager, you also need to know your company strategy, right? Because you want to align everything you do with your company strategy. What we call a strategy. This is actually an action plan to achieve the company's long-term goals. Every single word in this description is very important. So it's about a plan of actions, it's about achievements, it's about long-term, and it's about specific goals. So please learn your company strategy and then align your own HR strategy. Actually, today later I will show you how you are going to build your HR strategy after you accomplish your HR audit. Also, you need to know your company business model, which could be simply described in the form of business model canvas. Actually, you may find so many different examples of business model canvas over the internet with the help of Google. Just Google it, like put your company industry and then business model example, or just try to find the most famous companies on your industry and their business model canvas on the internet. So business model canvas actually tells how your company operates, how your company earns money. It tells about your cost structure, revenue streams, your company key partners, key activities, key resources, your value proposition to your clients, your customer segments, channels to serve your customers, and customer relationships. Right. So this is a company business model, and actually, what I would like you to describe or to draw this for your own company, just for yourself, for better understanding your company. Then, of course, SWOT analysis. It's about external and internal analysis. This is a tool that helps you to understand both the external and internal circumstances of the company. So you start from external analysis as a starting point for SWOT analysis. You monitor this quarterly or when conditions change. It helps you to support discussions with business leaders and employees, and these factors can be important ways to determine your strategic plan. So this is a template for SWOT analysis. It consists of internal and external part. Internal part is about your company strengths and your company weaknesses, and the external part is about your company opportunities and threats. For those external part, we are using pestle analysis, which covers 6 directions: politics, economics, society, technologies, environment, and legislation. And what we do with pestle analysis, we search for what happening in the world or in our country in those 6 directions, and we try to analyze the possible impact on the company and possible impact on HR work. Then we should realize that there are some forces that influence how our company operates, because we can't ignore those forces, and they determine what we do as well as our internal intention to do something. So what we have as 5 forces of the market on our company. So first, it's supplier power, right? Our suppliers, they have influence over us. Then we have competitors and competition with other companies in our industry. Then there are some new companies that can enter our market, and they will also influence our company. Also, we have threat of substitute products, because some new products could substitute our own product, and buyers enter and exit costs and buyers power that could organize, they could want to cancel our product, as they do very often, right? So it also has influence over our company. Boston Metrics, this specific tool could help you to understand why your company pay different attention to different products, to different regions, to different markets. It helps to analyze those products, markets, regions based on 2 specific criteria: market growth rate and relative market share. So the best products for companies with the high market growth rate and high relative market share, and they call it stars. Then they are cash cows with low growth rate, like mature products, but with the high relative market share. Then question marks, low market share but high growth. It's like internal startups. And then dogs, low market growth rate and low relative market share. Means like why dogs? Why Boston Consulting Group named this a dog? Because it's like a dog, it barks, it takes attention, but doesn't generate enough value. Company life cycle is another idea you have to understand, specifically to compare different companies between each other, or talking to people that came to a company from different company with a different stage of life cycle. Those companies on different life cycle stage, they have different specific different problems, different challenges to overcome, and it's good to know because when people come from younger companies to your company, they may complain about bureaucracy level in your company. So you have to tell them, so it's not bureaucracy, it's just more mature processes. Or people could come to your company from more mature companies and they could complain about lots of changes, about lack of structure, lack of processes. And again, you have to teach them then it's not lack of processes. This is just a company at the early stage of its development. Okay, let's move on. HR audit and strategy. Acting as HR business partner to your company, because it's one of four roles you have to play being HR manager. You have to do the same that every business leader does. They do internal audit, which helps you to understand what's happening in your company. So I, with my developer, created this platform, which is Papa HR, and I recommend you to register there, and then you will be able to fill all those checklists that I've developed. First, you need to complete HR audit checklist. So you open the platform, you register yourself, you go to checklists, and you click here, HR audit checklist. It will tell you how many minutes it will take you to accomplish the checklist. That's okay. And you don't need to spend all those minutes at once. You may start and then take a pause and then continue later. So you click continue walkthrough. And then you have all those parts of audit, right? It has the form of separate tabs, and then it has items which you have to reply yes or no. Yes, if it's about your company, if you have it in your company, and no if you don't have it yet. So after you accomplish those HR audit, you will have my recommendations and overall score. Overall score for all HR system in the company and for all those specific directions. You will also see my recommendations with the check boxes, so you may click when you implemented my recommendation. And you may also ask for help. We have built-in AI assistant, so you click get help and you have some explanation. How it looks when you accomplish your HR audit. You read all those statements. I also have hint for remote team. So if you have some remote employees, you read my hint and take into consideration. And you click yes or no. Also, you made the possibility to describe reality just for you to put some your thoughts, your comments. Also, it has SWOT and pestle analysis, the same way I presented this today. And yeah, there are team and resources audit, recruiting audit, all HR processes like adaptation and much more processes in it. Employee development audit, compensation audit. What you see here, this screenshot is just a part of all items, right? Because I have lots of items to check while doing audit. So just an explanation, just an example of what you are going to check. Brand management audit, motivation management audit, welfare care audit, corporate culture audit, HR results audit. I also have some benchmarks for yourself to compare to, right? Employee work results audit, business work results audit, EVP audit, technology audit, people management audit, and remote work audit. And then audit of results. Here you just put some of your thoughts, strengths, development zones, And when you fill those fields, you click done. Okay? And then you have recommendations and action items. After you accomplish your HR audit, you're ready to develop your HR strategy. So I also have the strategy development template. So how you develop your HR strategy? You start from referring to the company mission statement. Then you formulate your company HR mission. Then you define and write down the company's goals, and then you add some information, right? What is the purpose of HR it can support, and which HR metric will allow you to track the target. So here you also have some examples in these blue cells. To the right, you will find my hints, and also I have some additional explanation in this presentation at the bottom. Then you take a look at what initiatives businesses are working on, and also you think about how HR can help. You enter audit results and generate target values, and also you think about some basic recommendations what to do. Then you copy paste your pestle analysis and SWOT analysis. Then you set goals for HR metrics and, if necessary, employee or business performance metrics. You select EVP factors for reinforcement. You analyze a recent employee opinion survey or conduct one. You look further ahead 5 years. You formulate finally your HR goals for the year, and then you determine the required HR structure. Remind yourself of the HR to employee ratio. Then you think about what kind of resources will be required in large strokes, no small details, and what are some new initiatives that need funding. Then you think about HR team development, and you develop your HR roadmap with start date, end date, and responsibles. So the homework is to conduct HR audit of the business with the help of this link, and after passing from the homework, indicate first and last name as you mentioned in Papa HR. Some books I could recommend you to read. I highly recommend you Michael Armstrong book and also Laszlo Bock book. This one is more theoretical and this one is more practical one. So this is it for today. Next time we will be talking about building an HR career, which is very important at the very beginning of your career. I will share my personal advice. This is it. Thank you for attention and see you soon. Bye.